Microphone check. 1, 2. This is The Social Prophet, and I'm back at it with another rant slash story time. This is a story I haven't told anybody yet. It just happened, and I'm devastated, but it's okay. Before I get started, check out the new What the Fuck But Why hoodie. I'll put a link right here. And just in case you missed that, I'll put it right here. But anyways, I know you guys don't have time, so let's get right to it. I've been trying to get a tattoo for a while, right? And I wanted to get something with my daughters, Riley and Rowan. Keep in mind, Rowan. So, I was like thinking of a few ideas. I was going to do like a whole thing on like my pec, and it was going to come down my arm. And I was like, you know what? I saw some tattoo I kind of liked that kind of inspired me. So, I'll put up the example right here. So, I was trying to find a tattoo artist, and everybody was booked, or because I'm going to the beach the 12th, June 12th. So I was like, you know what? I want to get it before the beach and not right before the beach, so it has time to heal. So I found one right by my house, and I didn't even really know who they were. I just knew they were by my house. I was like, you know what? I'm just doing lettering. As you can see, a very, very simple tattoo. How could you mess it up, right? So I didn't even really care about the artist, which I guess is my bad. And sorry, I got my hot cocoa. The Prophet juice every single night, a cup of hot JoJo. So anyways, I emailed them. Maybe I'll even put clips up of what I emailed them. And I said, hey, I designed this really fast for some inspiration, right? Like I just did it really fast. And I was like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. So, do your thing. I sent a couple other examples of lettering with like swirly letters and stuff, and I was like, just whatever you want to do. So they took a little while to get back to me, and they finally messaged me back, and they're like, all right, Saturday at 5:25. And then a couple of days later, a couple weeks later, I messaged them. I said, hey, is she going to send me like a draft through email or just like when I get there? Because I was thinking if she drew something up, because I paid beforehand, I'm like, maybe it'd be easier if you just send it to me before. So then by the time I get there, I don't have to be like, nah, I don't like that. And they're like, no, when you get there, she'll have it. So anyways, I'm running late as I always do. I actually, in my head, I was thinking 5:30, and I was even late for 5:30. And I was like cleaning the dog room or something. So I get there, and they close at 7, keep in mind, okay? So I got there at like 5:45, feeling like a complete dick. And so I'm feeling like already kind of rushed. I'm already, feeling bad. So I get there, and she has like three designs laid out, but they're all my design, just different sizes, and they're like really small because I wanted it to go from like the middle of my chest to like my shoulder, something like kind of different. I didn't want just like a pec tattoo, just, I don't know, it's hard to explain, just something a little bit different. And why is my volume low? And so, I put it up to me, and I was like, nah. I was already thinking, oh, she didn't draw anything, right? I'm like, damn, she didn't draw anything. It was already by this time 6. By the time she got ready, 6:15, maybe not 6:15, maybe 6 o'clock. And I put it on me, and I didn't like the first one, and then she'd like wash it off. And by this time, I was like, you know what? Like, what I did is basically what I want. So I just want a simple tattoo. People always make fun of me because like I like jailhouse tattoos, or like bad tattoos, kind of. Like I don't want some perfect mural with color and flowers. I don't like that stuff. I just want I guess like I came out of jail. Don't want me. So she's really nice. I'm not going to say her name or this tattoo place because I'm not cancel culture, and I'll never cancel somebody no matter what they do. So anyways, she puts it on, and like I'm just like bullshitting, because I think I'm an artist. So I'm like, oh, what do you use? She's like, Procreate. I'm like, oh, I just learned Procreate. And then we got into talking about bad tattoos and messing up a tattoo. I'm like, hey, I was like, have you ever messed up somebody's name before? And she was like, no. She's like, I could tell she was like kind of new, like kind of like a rookie for some reason. I could just tell she hasn't been doing it that long. And she's like, no, no, never. She's like, oh my god, that'd be devastating. And we just kept talking and talking about messing up a tattoo. Like, what would you do if you literally put the wrong name or like spelled something wrong? And she's like, that'd be a nightmare. That's hopefully that never happens. Keep in mind, like, we went back and double checked because of this conversation. We kept being like, wait, let's look again. And we'd look and we'd look and we'd look. So anyway, she's tatting and stuff. I'm laying there. It's about, an hour goes by. So it's about 6:45, 6:50. They close at 7. Then 7 goes by. 7:15 goes by, but I'm laying on my back, so I can't even see what's going on. And there's so much black ink everywhere, like I really don't even know what she's doing. At one point, I was like, what letter are you on? And she told me. I'm like, oh, really? I was like, wow. So she was like halfway done. I was thinking she was almost done. But it was whatever. I wasn't rushing. So this isn't like that long of a story, but it's just, my story, my nightmare story. So anyway, she finishes up. There's still black ink everywhere. She's like cleaning it up and stuff. But I'm like looking down, right? I'm looking down. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, it looks good. It looks perfect. I like it. I actually, but keep in mind, I'm still kind of bummed that I went with my design because I did it literally in 1 minute. I went on the computer, just did Old English and put some, like, I lost all my fonts on my computer. So I just went to some really quick script font and just put it on. I didn't even really like the font that much. I mean, it's okay, but so I did it really, really quick. But by this time, I'm just like, whatever, I just want my stupid tattoo. I don't want to overthink it because if you know me, I just like analyze stuff and pick it apart, and it'll never be good enough. So even if she did draw something, it just probably would have never been good enough. So, anyways, I'm all excited. I got my tat. I go out and she's like, all right, blah, blah, blah. Tells me how to heal it. So I go outside and I still have the bandage on it. And I'm looking down like I still can't really tell. So I take a picture. My Mrs. Prophet's stepbrother or half-brother got a tattoo literally at the same time. Not where I got it, but at the same time. So Caitlin, Mrs. Lackawanna, texted in a group chat like, hey, this is Alex's tattoo. And he showed it. I'm like, oh, sweet. And she's like, did Jason get it? And I took a picture. I'm like, yeah, my new tattoo. I'm like, boom. and then I send it out. And then the first text I get back is from Mrs. Prophet. And she says, does that say Roman? And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, because one of the reasons why I didn't like the font I chose, I do like it, but the W and the M look a lot alike. As you can see in the design. I'm going to put it right here. I'll give you a second to analyze that. But they look a lot alike. But, whatever. She's like, does that say Roman? I'm like, no, babe. I'm like, it says Rowan. I'm like, the R or the W looks like an M. Like M, a W is just a backwards or upside down M, right? So I'm like, no. And then I'm looking at the pictures, like the best picture I've seen of it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's an M. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, holy shit. Oh no. She put Roman. She thought it was Roman and not Rowan. But by this time, I should have just went right back in, but they were like closed. Like when I was leaving, like she was like packing all her stuff up. It was like dark. Like they're like an hour or something past what we were supposed to be there, so I already kind of felt bad. And I'm like, holy shit. And I noticed in the tattoo that she didn't finish the bottom. So I think as she was tattooing, she even got lost in what she was doing, right? Like I guess, I don't know, because the stencil was perfect, So I think with all, she even made the comment like, "Oh man, there's black ink everywhere." Excuse me, ladies.
Ew,
So
gross.
she forgot to finish the bottom of it. And I was like, all right. I like after I was like having like a panic attack, like real fast though. It's like super fast. I'm like, oh my god, did she spell the wrong name altogether? And then when I looked, I'm like, oh, she just messed up that letter. And then I was like, all right, whatever. I'll go back. Like I'll call them and I'll just like go back and she can just touch it up. So and so I was like I was like whatever, and I kept asking Mrs. Prophet like, is she gonna be able to fix this, or like can you tell, or like what does it look like? And then in some pictures it would look like Rowan, which I'll put, and some look like Roman, which proved that the letter is very close. But the other day, I noticed that she really did. I thought maybe like she made the W, but just didn't finish the bottom. But as I'm looking at it now, no, she made an M, and she went off the stencil because if you look to if you're looking at it right now and you look to the right, just like what I'm showing you right now is the M and the W is different. And the problem is I'm not a tattoo artist, but I'm an artist. It's so close to the other letter. So like what she would have to do is going to make it bleed into the other letter. So I'm like, "Oh my god, how did this happen?" And I was thinking like, dude, she's going to like freak out. Like, holy shit. He was talking about that the whole time. Like, just imagine somebody spelling the name wrong. And it's like my daughters. It's like Riley and Rowan. They're my daughters. You literally messed up my daughter's name. And again, I'm not even mad at her. And I'm not even, like I said, I'm not going to say the tattoo place. I'm not going to say her name. I'm not mad at her. It's actually kind of funny in a way. Like, I'm honestly not freaking out. I mean, I'm kind of like mad because, well, I'll get to that. So, hold on. So, anyways, I was like, all right, I'll just get it fixed. I'll come back get it fixed before the beach or before whatever, And just want to get it over with. And then I emailed them, and then it took them a couple of days to get back to me, and they're like, all right, well, it has to heal, so you're gonna need like multiple, like a bunch of like, I'm not saying that. You're gonna need what they say. You're gonna need a couple weeks to heal, and they kind of just like played it off like, yeah, just come up, and then eventually. I emailed him like, all right, that's cool. And the other day, the dude called me. It's actually a girl, but the guy who owns the shop, and he's like, man, he's like, so when can you come in? And I was like, yeah, but we set a date. This is going to be after the beach, which I just realized is actually when I'm going to be at the beach. So I'm going to have to wait another week. So, anyways, he's like, oh, man. She was like she was saying, would you like some color? Like, she could fix it, like, maybe with some color. And what I think she's thinking in her head is like if she puts color behind it, like let's say she puts, I'm not going to do color, I said no, but let's say she puts green behind it, and then she could put green at the top where that meets, even though that was in the original one, but you could cut those little lines off, finish the bottom, that'd be a W. So that'd be an easy fix, but I don't want color. I hate color tattoos. Not on other people, just on me. Like I don't personally like color tattoos. So he was like, I was like, tell her it's okay. I'm not mad. We'll fix it. We'll figure something out. Like don't worry, it's okay. Accidents happen. I was telling her, like I printed a flyer before for a client. It was for a huge event, 5,000 flyers, and I misspelled something. Or there was the street name, and it was like I put the wrong street name. Somehow they didn't catch it. That was bad. So I've been there before. So that's why I'm not that mad at her because accidents happen. And I'm anti cancel culture. God damn it. Shout out Styles. But so I think this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if any of you are artists out there, tattoo artists. I'm thinking maybe, all right, she can connect the bottom. She can connect the bottom. And then maybe I could get some white highlights throughout the whole tattoo. and like where those two little skinny lines meet, maybe like put like white in it, like just like at the tip where it crosses with the bold with the other part of the M, the W, and maybe that will help. But I can't believe it. Like that happened to me. Like, it's like I can't believe I got a tattoo with the wrong name on it. It's crazy. Like especially because I was talking about it the whole time. Oh man. So that's that. And I'm gonna add, but I was thinking about it. I actually want to add to it. So, and I better get that for free. I was thinking about it. I'm like, what if she charges me? This is the place that I got it at. I technically could see them doing that. Like, I didn't even like it. Not, she's cool. I'm not mad at her. For some weird reason, she sees this. It's all good. I'm not mad at you. Do your thing. Don't let this stop you. But, I just didn't like it. Was kind of like too professional. Like I want to go there. I want to go to a tattoo shop where there's like bikers and there's fights breaking out and there's like prostitutes coming out the back. Don't worry, Mrs. Prophet. I would call the cops on them. Jer Bear. I would call the cops on them, but I still want them there just for optics. Loud music, banging like the hardest shit, like Drake and one of Jake Paul's new songs or something. But that's that. So anyways, that's that. Lesson learned, right? This is for anybody watching this. When you go get a tattoo, make sure you're not scared to say something. Double, triple, quadruple check it. And sometimes that's what's hard about it, because you're just like looking at it like I always do with typos. Like when I do a typo on a client's thing, it's like you almost see what you want to see. So, but this one actually wasn't my bad. It was my bad. The reason why I'm blaming myself and not her is because I didn't like the W to begin with, and I should have addressed that, and I should have customized the W, and I didn't. But I got put on the spot, and she didn't even put me on the spot. I put myself on the spot, so that's why I'm not mad at her. Like I said, it's a damn shame. I'm not that mad about it, to be honest. It's kind of funny. It's content. That's why I said to somebody, I'm like, it's content. Anything bad that happens to me now, I'm like, oh, it's content. Oh, I can make a podcast. Like if Mrs. Prophet left me for some guy, my first reaction would be like, ooh, I got some juicy content. I can make a whole series out of this. Sad, depressed, lonely husband, podcasting alone about his sorrows. Don't get any ideas, Mrs. Prophet. But if you do, I will profit off it, because I am the prophet. Which I never even really go that profit route with the prophet, because the prophet isn't about profit. I just want to do what I love. Kind of going into something else right now. And to cut this off right now, I will say to buy my hoodie, another link. And if you're wondering why I haven't been putting out that much content, you probably don't care, actually, and that's why I haven't been putting out a lot of content, because I was rushing it. I was just like, I work. I have to wake up at 7:30 in the morning, and I'm staying up till 5:30 in the morning, shooting a podcast from like 2 to 3 or 4, and then I'm editing it from 4 to 5 just to put it out. For what? Like one like? You know what I'm saying? Like for one like for Jer Bear to be like, oh, cool. So it's like, why am I rushing it? So I'm going to take my time. I'm going to make good content. I'm going to edit it nice. I'm stacking this all for my YouTube channel. And I'm going to drop it on my YouTube channel, go public, and boom. I'm going to have binge-worthy shit. My content or my channel is going to have so much stuff to binge. So I hope you enjoyed my little story time. It's late. Nobody cares. Maybe you care about this one, though. I hope you learned. But this is The Social Prophet with What the Fuck But Why. Peace.